Alright, so I just came to this little secret creek that I know, right off the Tennessee River, and it's packed full of fish. I just had like 6 follows. There's, I think, yellow bass, white bass, and just caught this nice little crappie. It's not the biggest one, but I just got here. It took like 3 casts, and I've had follows and a crappie. So look at that big black stripe down his head. It's pretty cool. But there's a bunch of fish right here in front of me. So put that guy over there. And I've switched to like a green, little green Keitech. Let's see if there's some more fish down here. I wasn't expecting to catch a crappie out of here. But I just saw a white bass and I think a yellow bass the cast before come up. So I got to get it down to the bottom. It's actually probably like 6-7 foot deep out there. And just twitch it around a little bit, slow reel. And I just had a big fish a second ago. I actually pulled the swim bait right off the hook. So he hit right next to the bank here. So let it sink. And this little creek gets packed full of fish in about 3-4 weeks right now. It'll be just loaded full of fish. You can catch 100-200 fish in a day. There goes another fish. This one, oh, it's gone. That was a little smallmouth. There's a pile of just random fish in here right now. I wonder if the A-rig would work in here. I'm afraid to get it snagged up out there, so I won't be able to get it back. But they keep biting right in front of this log. So let's try that again. There's another one. Oh, that's a big one. That's a big white bass. Sweet. I took my swim bait, but yeah, that's a chunky white bass. Look at that thing. That is awesome. That's a chunker. They get a lot bigger than that. Let's get another swim bait on and catch a couple more. This is the only spot today really I fished that has a lot of fish in it. Alright, so there's a bunch of fish busting down here at some bait. Not sure what it is, but I threw on a brown little swim bait, white jig head. I don't know if they're just hiding out on the very bottom or what. First couple casts I got here and they followed it all the way to the surface. So I can't tell where they're at, as it's pretty murky in here. There's a fish. There's a fish. That's a largemouth. That's not that bad either. That's not a bad fish. Sweet. Look at that. Right out of this little creek. On that brown Keitech. Got some glitter to it. A little dark back. Sweet. I've gotten white bass here, smallmouth, and a largemouth in about 10 minutes here. Kind of like to catch a few more of those big white bass. I like the way they hit. They hit like a ton of bricks. There's one. That's another largemouth. About the same size, a little bit smaller on this one. Oh man, there's a lot of fish in here. It's crazy. Just one little hole. Sweet. They destroy that little bait too. Luckily I got a bunch of them. I'm not sure what was busting down there. It seems like maybe white bass or yellow bass were eating some bait. There's a fish. That's a small, maybe a smallmouth, could be a largemouth. That's another largemouth. These are not bad fish either. Jeez. Dude, that's a chunker. Look at that guy. Awesome, that's a smallie. Thought it was a largemouth. Got those red eyes. That's just a crazy colored smallmouth. Real dirty. He's like right on the bottom. Awesome. Chunky fat fish. Look at that. He destroyed my swim bait again. Luckily I got like 100 of them. This is fun. I've not been able to find the fish lately. Just every once in a while get lucky and catch a few fish at a one spot and move on, catch one fish. But man, this is just bank fishing at its finest. So now I just tried a little mega bass swim bait. It's a little special little jig head on there. We actually colored the jig head red so it looks like it's blood right here. It's supposed to be pretty hot right now. So this is a little bit light. I think this is maybe an eighth or less. So I'm gonna have to let it actually sink a little bit. Twitch it around, act like it's a dying minnow. There's one. Another largemouth. It's kind of a tiny one. A couple of quality ones over here though today. On that little mega bass. I don't even know if that's 3 inches. That could be like 2.5 inches. So I just threw on a little brown mega bass. Because they were not liking that last one. I got one little bass on that last swim bait. I think they kind of like the brown right now. And I got my PB smallmouth on this same bait right here I'm using, so see if we can get another nice smallmouth out of here. There's a fish. God dang it, missed him. Oh, there's a fish. God, these are scrappers. Another largemouth. On that little mega bass. It's killing them today. No bites the last couple casts. Now I'm just getting spoiled over here, catching a fish every other cast. I'm expecting the bites now. One on the big white bass. There's a fish. What we got? Another little crappie with another black stripe on its head. Look at that. Look at that big old stripe. Just a little crappie. I was getting a bunch of bites right here and I just could not hook this fish. And maybe it's just a bunch of baby crappie down there. In a few weeks, the yellow bass and white bass will be so thick in here, you can catch like 200 fish in like a couple hours. Every cast. There's a fish. Another decent largemouth right there, guys. Man, these things are fighters in there. This is about as big as my other good one. Jeez, they're fat. Look how fat these things are. Cool. They're not huge, but man, that's a lot of fun. These things are just gorging on whatever in here. Back to the original, just the Keitech, just shiner. 3/16 ounce jig head, white. That's what I caught most of my fish on when I first got here. Been getting them on other baits too, but this one right here is kind of a go-to. So let's get one first cast real quick. There he is. Oh my God, I got a big fish on here. That's a big fish, I think. Holy cow, I can't stop this fish. What is this? I don't know what I hooked, guys. Big catfish or... Oh my God, he's gone. I just hooked a giant fish and I lost him. Oh my God, that sucks. I just saw him shine down there. The thing, it was like this big. I don't know what it was. That was a big frickin' fish. All right, had to take a quick break. I'm pretty bummed out about missing that huge fish. I mean, it's been a minute since I caught a giant fish and that was it. And it was fighting like a big smallmouth. It looked huge. I mean, I couldn't stop it. It was just ripping me all over the place. Super heavy, and then it flashed down there and it looked like a huge smallmouth. So it's really really upsetting. And these smaller bass are fun too, but man, that was a lot of fun fighting that fish. So I threw on the 6 cents 3-inch swim bait. It's really bright. It's like a white pearl. And it could be a good thing, it might not be. I just always do the best on those. There's a fish. Oh, that's a nice bass. That's a nice... Oh, he's gone. I gotta check my hooks. That's 2 big fish I just lost. Well, it's a sharp hook. Damn. I'm getting bummed out here, people. That was a 3-pound largemouth. Gosh dang it. We want those big ones. Oh, that's a fish. What is that, another white bass? No, it's another largemouth. I brought the net down here. I'm ready for another big one. There's a fish. That's a good bass. Ah, taking a little line, are you? That's the biggest bass of the day. Heck yeah. Awesome. That's another Keitech, like a skinnier version of the ribbed 3/16 ounce jig, and produces bass. Didn't need a net for that one. Sweet. There's still a bunch of fish in here. This is about right where I hooked that giant fish. There's another fish. That's another largemouth. Things are so fat right now, it's crazy. That's a tiny bass, and it's just a fat belly. Those shad must be in here. Keep catching that limb. There we go. There's a fish on the drop. Now the largemouth, they are stacked in here. That is crazy. It's like 20 of these today over here. I haven't even recorded everything I've caught either. I kept catching these guys and I was like, I'll turn the camera off and just have fun. But dude, this is so crazy. There's so many fish in here. I was hung up on the branch and I did the little dangle and he nailed it. We just went downstream a little bit to this next deep hole. Not sure what to expect. I've never fished down here before, but it looks like there should be a few fish in this spot too. I mean, it looks good. Nice little current flow coming through here. I don't know where the snags are yet. Oh, there's a fish right there by the bank. It's a nice little chubby bass. Cool. Decent little spot. He kind of messed up my swim bait though. He kind of tore it. I might have to go back to the truck and get another bait. I just wanted to stop for just a second. Wow. He came up to the bank to get that thing. Oh. Little chunky bass. Not too bad. There's another one. I just can't get super accurate with these lighter. I think this is a 1/4 ounce, but still, like, it's just not wanting to throw this bait right. There's a fish. Not the size we're looking for.